There's one thing that I myself and then I believe 99% of the people are guilty of, and I don't think that's a perspective of growth. I don't think that allows us or anyone else to grow as such. It's criticism, right? That's the thing that doesn't let us grow at all. Because think of it this way, how I see criticism is a fool needs criticism to prove his knowledge, and a wise man never is knowledgeable. What does that mean? Anyone who tries to prove his point or prove his knowledge by criticizing other man or any other person is never is knowledgeable. Is a fool, right? And a wise man is never knowledgeable. That means that wise man never would consider himself knowledgeable. Okay, let me go into the further depth of it. So the true knowledge lies in the fact that there is a constant evolution of knowledge. Knowledge is not a stagnant topic, it's not a stagnant area of research. And the main essence or the point that makes knowledge special is that it is constantly evolving. And if you think that you have knowledge, there's a old saying, right? If you think you have knowledge of something, it means you are lacking in definitely some aspects of it. Let me give you an example. So let's say you know almost everything about computers. Then you're gonna constantly think of, oh, I don't know about programming, I don't know about AI, I don't know about UI, I don't know about this. Like there's gonna be a constant chase and constant thrive of, I'm liking this, I'm liking that, I'm liking this, I'm liking that. And that is knowledge. And if you think you have all the knowledge that is needed to run a computer, you probably don't have enough. Because there's always more to knowledge than you have at the moment. And I believe that most people try to criticize other people because they think they have knowledge. Let me give you one real concrete idea of how people truly argue. There's two ways to argue. The argument could be based on ignorance or knowledge, true knowledge. And 99% of or 95% of the time it's based on ignorance, because you are trying to say that, oh, I know almost everything. Because there's this beautiful thing that I wrote. I was like, even a fool would allow you to grow. What does that mean? There would be something to learn from even a fool or even a person that have no knowledge as such, but he acts or pretends that he has a knowledge. But a wise man or a knowledgeable person would try to learn even from that person. That is true knowledge. Let me give you another example. So what happens when you try to chase that knowledge is you stop criticizing other people, because you will try to find areas, those gray areas, from a different type of people and try to learn from them and try to evolve from them, even they have nothing to teach. There's this beautiful thing. So a wise man knows how to learn from nothing. Even in the essence of nothing, there's something to learn, there's something to evolve. So that's actually the knowledge. You as a person should be able to learn even from a person that have nothing to teach. And that is the beauty of it. And I believe there's no such thing as a knowledgeable person. There could be only one concrete idea of how a person should be. So there's only one thing you can achieve, and I think that considers as knowledge. So you can only be one thing, that is, you would be able to distinguish between true knowledge and ignorance. If you can truly understand that, I believe then you are knowledgeable. That's it. Because knowledge is a constant thrive and constant flow of information, right? And you can definitely be able to become knowledgeable once you know how to distinguish between true knowledge and ignorance, and true knowledge based on truth, not on false opinions or belief. Because most of the time when we try to formulate our knowledge, we tend to rely on our culture, try to rely on our social norms and everything. That's not true knowledge, because most of the time not it's not based on truth. It's based on beliefs and opinions, and most of the time those are false, the opinions and the beliefs. And how do you actually distinguish these things? Like, how do you actually be able to distinguish between true knowledge and ignorance? You would need to understand that what is the thing that is it coming from. What does that mean? The truth, let's say, if you don't have knowledge at all of why it's a daytime, you would think, okay, so it's a daylight that is causing this um, essence of glow, right? And then when you go deeper into the knowledge hole, you'll be like, okay, there's the star that is emitting light, and we are able to see all these things. And then if you go further, you'll be like, okay, on that star, there's this chemical reaction that occurs, and because of that, this thing is happening. So what does that mean? Is that means that you would need to go into the deeper level of truth rather than relying on what you actually see. I just see some light, but what's the true cause of it? I would need to go deeper into that essence of light. The essence of light is sun, and the sun is causing that light because of those chemical reactions. So that is kind of the true essence of it. So whatever you do, let's say, okay, I'm working hard. Why am I working hard? What's the true essence of that hard work? Okay, I'm working hard because that is going to give me this. So, and also you would need to formulate this true essence, this true knowledge, independent of what you really want. Because think of it this way: if you want something, or if you're putting a biases, um, you would formulate your knowledge based on that bias, and it wouldn't give you the true essence of what that actually means or what that actually is. And so you would need to formulate your true knowledge based on the forms, and independent of all the other these nuances that doesn't really affect your knowledge and your ability to comprehend a good life. And yeah, this was kind of an interesting one, and I feel like it all starts from the knowledge as such. Once you start to build this concrete knowledge of, okay, I can independently understand what is a true knowledge and what's ignorance, then I believe your mental model is gonna shift in a way that you're gonna try to do things that are true to the knowledge rather than based on ignorance. What does that mean? That means, let's say you're in a situation where you need to do something. You wouldn't do it based on, oh, I want money, or oh, I want this. You would do based on, okay, if I truly do this, I'm following my virtues, I'm following my principles, and those principles are based on truth. And that is not shakable. Like, those fundamental truths are not shakable at all. And what that allows is for you to navigate when there's dark. That's the most important aspect, because everyone can drive a car in the daylight, but most people would struggle where there is no light. I'm talking no light, no headlights or anything. So you would need to have that fundamentals, that even when there's dark, you have the lamp to navigate through your path. All right. I'm not going to go into too many details because it's too philosophical to understand, but I think I've given a kind of an essence of what I was talking about, that ignorance and true knowledge. Like, how can you, as a person, be away from the idea of criticism? Because criticism doesn't give you the true knowledge, because most of the time you can only criticize other person when you have two things: knowledge or ignorance. And most of the time, a person who has knowledge wouldn't criticize other person, because he would try to learn from other person's perspective as well. It might be completely false, but you wouldn't criticize that person. You would still show the light. You would still enlighten them with the idea of, okay, no, this is the fundamental truth, and it is what it is based on. But you wouldn't criticize them, because you would still want to hear what their perspective is, and you would still want to learn more, because you would be chasing more than ego and self-pride. You would be chasing that knowledge. You would be chasing that essence of truth. And that, I think, is beautiful, because it is going to distinct you from the crowd. Because think of it this way: if everyone is chasing that thing, if everyone is trying to prove their point, if everyone is egoistic, and you are the one that goes and listen and actually understand their perspective, even though if it's wrong, and you enlighten them in a different way, you'd be like, the other person will be like, damn, this person is special, this person is different. That's the most important part, because in order to navigate through this nuanced crowd, you have to be true to your essences. That's it. It's simple. Because 99% people fail when it actually comes into the practice of those essences. And that's where you can come into the play and play your part. And obviously that is going to be rewarded in a different and more fruitful way. All right, have a good day, and hope you have a wonderful rest of the evening.